everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jess and today's video is going to be a Defeat the TBR update. Now, I am sat in a different location. I don't have my lovely bookshelves in the background. I do apologise for that, but I feel like that kind of reflects the kind of month that I have had. I had the worst pre-period mental health this month. I've really been struggling this month, to be honest, feeling super emotional, literally crying at any small thing. This month's reading has been a little bit all over the place. I am filming this on the 23rd of November, so if there is any books that I finish prior to the end of the month, then I will of course let you guys know. So far this has been such a difficult month for me in terms of reading. I have been super manically busy, and also, as I said before, my mental health just has not been on par, really. I'm going to start off with the books that I hauled this month. I didn't actually think I hauled any books, but looking back at it, I did, but there is a reason for that. I told you guys last month that I wanted to do another episode of my series continuation vlogs, and in order to kind of do some series continuations, I did need to purchase a couple of books, and the two that I decided to purchase to try and finish these series: Queen of Myths and Monsters by Scarlett Sinclair. This is the second book in the Adrian and Izzy series by her. I did enjoy the first book. It wasn't my favourite from her. And this is the second book in the duology, so I picked this up ready to read so that I could finish off that duology for my finishing series. And then I also purchased The Righteous by Renee Ardier, not realising that I thought this was the third and final book in this series by her, but actually it turns out it's going to be a quartet, which means there's one more book coming, and I believe it's coming out on the 5th of December. So I purchased these two for that reading vlog, and I obviously had a pre-order come this month, and that was Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. And then the final book that I purchased this month was a Kindle Unlimited book, and I brought The Sweetest Oblivion. This was on Kindle offer, I believe, for 99p, but I remember everyone talked about this dark romance, so I decided to pick that up. The first book that I went into the month and read, or finished reading, was My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I really enjoyed this, guys. This was such a kind of cute, cozy rom-com book. I was giggling at parts. There were certain parts that were so funny and so awkward, but it was also just so realistic in terms of the context that they're in. I thought it was a really good rom-com style of book, and I think this is my first, I guess, proper foray into a rom-com. I will say at the beginning it felt like the pace took a while for the pacing to kind of pick up there. But once we did kind of get more into the story and get to know the characters a little bit better, it was so much fun and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. The next book that I finished was The Sweetest Oblivion, and I ended up giving this one 3 stars. If I'm completely honest, I don't think I read this book that long ago, and meaning I literally have done the majority of my reading in the last week, and I can't remember what this book was about. I cannot remember the plot for the life of me. It must have been pretty good because I rated it 3 stars, but I generally cannot remember the plot. I do remember it being pretty good. It was a pretty good smutty book. Wasn't up to kind of my top favourites, more spicy authors writing, but I did enjoy it enough to give it 3 stars. I probably won't continue with this because I think it's a series, so I don't think I'll continue with the series, but I was happy to just read the standalone. Obviously, if I feel the desire to pick up the next book in the series, I will, but I don't think I'm going to put the series on my series tracker because I don't have any intention of deliberately picking up the rest in the series at this moment in time, because it was just okay. It wasn't my favourite. Then I read Twisted by Emily McIntyre, and this is the 4th book in the Never After series by her, and I really liked this. I thought this was so good. I did struggle in the beginning with our main love interest because I was worried that he wasn't going to have redeeming qualities, and I always say this when I talk about this spicy Disney fractured retelling series, that one of the things I love about this dark romance series in particular is that they are redeemable characters. Although they do horrible things, or they have done horrible things, or they plan to do terrible things, they have this level to them where they're morally grey almost, but you can kind of see their reasoning and the purpose for what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. And I think that that's so powerful in these books, because I don't like dark romances normally because I can just, they don't have any redeeming quality to me, apart, and it seems to feel more kind of smart and less plot. Whereas I say Emily McIntyre definitely has that perfect kind of combination for me personally of plot, like fracturedness but with redeemable qualities. I feel like I was a little bit kind of strict, I guess, on my rating of this one, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5 stars. When I first finished reading it, I was like, oh, it's so close to a 5, but I haven't got the exact 5-star feeling. I just love this series so much. I think if you are someone who wants to get into dark romance or likes the idea of dark romance but anything that they've read has been just a bit too dark or with characters that are unredeemable or a bit too smutty, I think you would enjoy these. These still have quite a lot of spice in, like a lot of spice in, but you have kind of like this plot and build up to the relationship and the spicy scenes happening. And yeah, this is definitely an open door series though, so if you are looking for a closed door book series, which means that the explicit content is not shown, then you will not find it within this book series. It is definitely a spicy one, but it is so good. The final book that I have officially like finished so far this month is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I loved this. This is the second book in this series and I just really enjoyed it. There's just something so wholesome about the single dad in this book, and I thought I was going to love this one a lot more than the first book in this series. I think the first book in the series I gave 3 stars. When I read the bold writing at the top of this book, I knew I was going to be a goner for this, and I really was. I love Cade's like grumpiness, and I loved the fact that our female main character, she was such a bubble of sunshine, and I feel like this is definitely a grumpy sunshine trope. And also I feel like the way that things were handled was just really respectable. There was no real third act conflict. It was dealt with kind of like adults, and I appreciated that a lot. And I also appreciated the fact that it wasn't over dramatized. And I think a lot of people, I haven't actually read any reviews on this book to be fair, but I do think some people won't like the way that what happens near the end of the book. However, I personally felt like it suited the couple really well in terms of what they enjoy and what they've enjoyed doing and what they've fallen in love with together. This has made me so excited to continue on with the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, especially after reading Powerless, the first book in the series, and not loving it as much as everyone else did. This book here has definitely made me fall in love with this series. Now I want to talk about the books that I am currently in the middle of or partway through. So I kind of touched on this already, but I am over halfway through Iron Flame right now, and I am hoping to have this book finished by the end of the month. I think I've got 240 pages left, so it's definitely doable to finish this by the end of the month, but we will see. I have so many deadlines at the moment and like uni work and things that I'm focusing on. I do this thing where I absolutely love a series and I'm so excited for a book and I'm really enjoying a book where I just read it so slowly because I don't want it to end. I did the exact same thing with Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. I am also a good chunk of the way through The Righteous by Renee Ardier. I am on page 230. I think I only have like 100 pages left of this. The reason why I put this book down, right, I was really enjoying this book. Sorry if you can hear one of my neighbour's dogs, because this book has mainly been following Pippa, who is one of our main character's best friends from the first 2 books in this series. Now, I really enjoyed The Beautiful. I didn't love The Damned. I felt like she was trying to do too much in too short of a like page span. But this book, I was like, oh, you know, I've heard about it, I've seen it, I've been contemplating picking it up for quite a while. And I decided to finally pick it up. I was really enjoying it when we were in Pippa's perspective. And then we just randomly got a different character's perspective that we haven't really heard much about or talked much, like we haven't seen at all in this whole book. And I just felt like it wasn't necessary. I felt like this book should have stayed as Pippa's perspective with one of the other characters in this book series. I feel like it should have stayed with those 2 perspectives and not flitted, because literally once you're this far through the book, like over halfway, why add another POV unless it's essential? And like maybe I'll eat my words once I finish the last 150 pages of this book, but it just frustrated me. And I think it frustrated me even more because I was bored by their perspective, and their perspective was so long as well. And then finally, the book that I started literally 2 nights ago was Crossed by Emily McIntyre. This is the 5th book in the Never After series, a twisted romance, dark romance, spicy series. And I started this one and I have some conflicting opinions. I am struggling with this one. This is the first book in this series that I have struggled with, which is interesting because this was actually the book that I saw reviewed that made me want to purchase this series. Okay, it's Editing Jess here. I am just popping in to let you guys know that I did actually end up finishing this book. However, I didn't really enjoy it. As I said, when I started the book, I wasn't enjoying it that much either. But I've ended up giving it a 2 stars, which is very disappointing because the rest of the series I've absolutely loved. But I will continue to read the rest of the series because I think there's only going to be one more book to be coming out, which I'm kind of sad about because I've loved all the rest so much. Even if I do dislike this, I do think I will still read the 6th book because the rumour that I have heard going around is that the 6th book is going to be based off of The Little Mermaid, and I just think that has the potential to be such a good twisted, fractured, dark romance. That is everything that I hauled and read and am currently reading for this time of the month. And I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. If you'd like to see more videos from me, and I'll catch you guys all in my next one. Bye!